Briar is a powerhouse in Flesh and Blood. Her usual top finishing deck lists include many expensive Majestics, such as Enlightened Strike, and multiple legendaries. A question naturally arises: is that where her power lies? Welcome to Magic Omens. I'm Hrvoje, and in this video I'll guide you through a Briar deck that can storm through Blitz armories on a budget. Briar's hero ability allows her to generate elemental embodiments. Lightning provides go again and helps with the offense, while Earth bolsters the defense of non-attack actions. Successful attacks are what generates embodiments of Earth, so it makes sense that Briar wants to strike first and defend later, or ideally not at all. For Briar, offense is the best defense, and this list will be very aggressive, inspired by zero-cost lightning strategies. Attack actions form the basis of any proactive strategy. The ones that suit this build will cost 0, attack for 4 damage, and preferably have go again. Scar for a Scar Red has all of these, making it a no-brainer. Red Ravenous Rabble will find itself at home in a list full of red cards, consistently attacking for 4. There is also value in the yellows though, as unconditional go again helps in turns that lack non-attacks. Snatch Red offers a precious on-hit effect and is the most valuable card to buff in this list. Red Seek Horizon has fantastic artwork and offers some flexibility. Red Wounding Bow has desirable stats, while Red Arcanic Crackle has the potential to generate 2 embodiments of Earth through split damage. Red Arcanic Shockwave and Red Entwined Lightning are solid at base level and punch above the average for their cost once fused. Few of the cards they can be fused with are Lightning Surge Red, a great card to save for Arsenal, and Ball Lightnings Red and Yellow, which serve to amplify elemental and lightning attacks. Switching over to non-attack actions, Plunder Run immediately takes the spotlight. This deck is lacking in threatening on-hit effects, and maximum copies of Plunder Run cover that up quite nicely. Any pitch can be played from hand, but Red and Yellow really shine from Arsenal. Nimblism Red is the perfect buff card, while Captain's Call Red and Yellow give the consistent +2, but also offer the flexibility of giving go again. The reasoning behind Red Captain's Call over Blue is the consistency of Ravenous Rabbles, but feel free to switch those out if you expect to face a lot of Ice decks or Kano. Red Weave Lightning imitates Nimblism, working on less cards, but being a lightning card to fuse with. The list is finished with 2 copies of Lightning Press, an instant power buff to catch your opponents off guard. Looking at the list as a whole, there are 24 attacks, 14 non-attacks, and 2 instants. This ratio might seem a bit lopsided compared to classic constructed lists, but equipment can act as a band-aid to many hands in short games of Blitz. Hope Merchant's Hood can salvage hands with no attack actions, no go again, or even no blocks when push comes to shove. If you come from a game with mulligans, this card will make you feel at home. Aether Ironweave is a fantastic piece of budget equipment. It blocks 1 and allows a free weapon swing afterwards. For hands, Mark of Lightning synergizes with Ball Lightning, which amplifies its damage to 2 or even 3, and guarantees an embodiment of Earth. Snapdragon Scalers are a no-brainer choice for legs, securing a go again in crucial moments. Weapon, if it wasn't already obvious, is the Rosetta Thorn. 4 damage split 2 ways for only 1 resource is too powerful to pass up. Crown of Dichotomy, Nullrune Robe, and Nullrune Gloves cover arcane barrier needs, and anyone who owns Spellfreight Cloak and Spellfreight Gloves from Monarch Blitz decks can include those as well. Obviously there's room for upgrades, be it because you're looking for a fully fleshed out list, or you got some good pulls, so here's a quick look at that. Moving on, the bread and butter turns of this deck involve 5-card hands with multiple attack actions available. Something like playing a non-attack buff and then another to create an embodiment of lightning. Playing a buffed attack that has go again, following it up with something with natural go again, and a weapon swing. You can rearrange the order of some of these actions, for example playing a Scar for a Scar before or in between the non-attacks, while you're still at lower life, and using the embodiment of lightning on something else. Here's a few other tips to help you along. Don't be afraid to take damage early to come back with a 5-card hand. This deck thrives when it attacks with as many cards as possible, threatening lethal in a single turn. Too many cards block for 2 or 0 to take the game slow. In a similar vein, slowing your current turn and keeping a card to arsenal for a strong 5-card play next turn is well worth it. Blowing the game wide open as soon as possible is how you win in Blitz. Equipment is there to be spent. As long as it's not turn 1 of the game, do not hesitate to use Hope Merchant's Hood to fix your hand. Don't be afraid to break Aether Ironweave before blocking with it to keep tempo either. The only piece of equipment that creates significant pressure by still being alive is Snapdragon Scalers, so use them wisely. Try to use Mark of Lightning only on ball lightnings to get maximum damage possible out of it. Using Mark on the second or third ball can be really deadly, but also greedy if the opponent blocks with armor or from arsenal, and sometimes you might want to use it on any lightning or elemental attack simply to get an embodiment of Earth. Read the cues your deck gives you. This is turn 4 and you've seen many more attacks than non-attacks so far in the game. Say one attack for arsenal, so a hand without them doesn't catch you off guard and completely loses the tempo. Once you get good at this, you'll notice Hope Merchant's Hood stays unused more often, so maybe switch it out for some proper armor. Equipment lineup stays the same for most matchups, as it's better to follow the deck's aggressive and proactive plan than to try and play it reactively, something it is not built to do. Arcane Barrier and possibly Spellweight effects are required against Kano though, to win the race, as he is just too efficient at burning you down to cinders without them. Spellweight works better going first, as your attacks won't let him fire back with his ability, while you get to block some damage for free later. Meanwhile, Arcane Barrier soaks up turn 1 damage going second. If you own Duskblade, equip it against Oldhim. His goal will be to fatigue you, and without Sting of Sorceries to pitch stack with Ball Lightnings, a growing Duskblade is your best chance to win. Against decks trying to fatigue, take your time and arsenal every plunder run to maximize damage output on big turns. And that is all. I hope you enjoy playing the deck. It's cheap, it's straightforward, and it plays really quick games, which makes getting a lot of practice in really easy. Just don't take it too far in casual games with friends. As any other aggro deck, it gets a bit frustrating to face. See you next time.